Welcome to the channel. This is Tenshura web novel chapter 91 where Souei fights with Glenda. Spoilers ahead, so watch out, it may contain events of future anime. Subscribe the channel for more web novel chapters. So, now let's start the video. At the same time as Arnaud abandoned himself to a desperate struggle, every other Division 2 abandoned any hopes of being able to set up a barrier. For example, let's see how one squad fared. Auburn-haired team captain Glenda. Her squad was smoothly setting up the barrier. And suddenly they saw a single young lad walking towards them. He was strolling in their direction, his blue hair parted by one horns. That horn signified him as a non-human being. Glenda clicked her tongue, left the setting up of the barrier to her adjutant, and readied a squad to engage. Are you also this city's denizen? Though it was obvious, she asked in order to buy some time. And though she didn't expect a response, correct. Let me give you a warning. Peacefully sit down and wait. If you do, no harm will come to you, you know. That's the best outcome for you lot. He said, completely looking down on them. Glenda snorted and rebuked the offer. In the first place, you can't make a deal with a monster, and there was only a single one before them. Though he seems like a high-ranked ogre, he would hardly be a threat to them. Ogres tend to favor combat focusing on raw strength. They slaughter their enemies by wielding heavy weapons with their brute strength. Furthermore, these are also individuals who can protect themselves with incredibly tough muscles and high regenerative abilities. Ogres are an adventurer's natural enemies. But they are the Knights Templar. Not a group that could possibly lose against an ogre. They have never seen an A-ranked ogre. The monster before has an appearance of a particularly weak ogre. But he carries the air of dominance about him. Chances are, it's a named unique monster. Its confidence must come from the fact that it's among the strongest beings in the forest. If so, they needed to teach it the strength of the Templars. Like teaching a frog that has never left its birth swamp how wide the world is. So that it would never look down on them again. Well, we will kill it here so it won't have that chance, Glenda thought, closing her eyes. Attention. Single target. Danger rating A. 3 members, dispose of it. She had thought to wait until her subordinates set up the holy barrier, but there was only a single enemy. It didn't release a powerful aura, so its danger rating was rate low. That rating, however, decided Glenda's squad's fate. You are being careless. Aren't you looking down on your enemy too much? As soon as the 3 knights approached the lad, the scene turned hazy for a split second. And, passing right through the knights, the lad continued the leisurely stroll. Why did he pass the knights? No, the knights have already collapsed. The moment they were in range, he had completely immobilized them. These 3 powerful knights were rendered defenseless. In a single moment. What did you do? You bastard, what are you? She heard her adjutants cry out, and an intense feeling of déjà vu assaulted her. She was remembering what Commander Hinata has said so many times. And the enemy before her emitted strength that could make you despair. At this point, she understood the meaning of Hinata's warning. But it was far too late. Shadows creeping from behind her have already disabled her entire team. Completely expressionless, a group of lads with identical face disabled them and disappeared. It seems that he had cloned himself and encircled the enemy from the very beginning. Just like Hinata, the moment he warned them, the battle had been decided. He did not look down on them at all but prioritized results. Glenda lost. I could tell you my name, but it's a pain. I have a reason to keep you alive. Tell me everything you know about the church. I'm currently studying torture, so if you don't answer, I'll be experimenting on you. Of course, feel free to resist. Now then, what will you do? I don't care either way. The lad muttered, completely uninterested, his expression unchanging. Coupled with his beautiful face, the scene filled Glenda's heart with fear. Resistance is futile. If so, will she choose to talk or to die? Then she noticed that he had left all her friends alive. Maybe, if she were to choose death, he would offer the same to every one of them. Thinking that, she decided to buy some time by choosing to be tortured. Torture me or whatever you wish. We shall never bow before a monster. Glenda said as if she were giving up. She drew her blade and filled it with spiritual energy. While thus awakening her spiritual weapon, she confronted the enemy. Even if her strength wasn't enough, she would at least satisfy her pride. The blue-black-haired beautiful lad, Souei, looked at her with a slightly displeased expression. And sighed at her foolishness. I see, you chose to resist. I care little about ranks and such, so I'd rather you just tell me whatever you know. Faster than he could complete the sentence, Glenda moved. Her sword quickly pierced the body before her. But, perhaps she cut only a clone because the enemy simply faded away. Glenda understood. If she couldn't find his true body, she had no hopes of victory. Now then, let's begin the torture. Let me know when you decide to talk. A sweet voice whispered into her ear. Glenda intended to fight, but Souei did not consider her as a being that could hurt him at all. And suddenly, Glenda felt waves of pleasure overcome her. Souei had begun to stimulate her erogenous nerves with a thread. Rather than pain, a heavenly pleasure attacked her. Now then, I have sealed your ability to faint. So do talk before you go mad. Glenda struggled inside this hell of pleasure. But, unfortunately, she soon gave up. That's it for this video. Sorry this video is short. It's not my fault, it's web novel and things are going really fast there. Hope you understand guys. Subscribe the channel for more web novel chapters. Meet you on next video.